All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, Ship It Nation YouTube station? Back for Wednesday Days Baseball. We got main slate baseball, and I'm glad it's Wednesday because Tuesday's behind us, Gyiraszin. We can look forward. We don't have to worry about that's the glory of daily fantasy sports, right? When shit don't go your way, you tighten up your bootstraps, you get back in there, and you play the same way you always play, right? Just stick to your guns and give her round two, and that's what we're gonna do here. Just a disastrous slate last night in all regard. Got some stuff right, got a lot of stuff wrong, and overall it was a mass multi-enter or a super contrarian who probably shipped everything last night. I would assume it definitely wasn't me, but I'll bring you in, man. Happy Wednesday! Looking forward to some solid day baseball here, and hopefully some night baseball that gets the job done as well, with that Sutter Health game being the lone standalone late night game. So that's a lot of the slate's going to probably be dictated by that game is last night. If you didn't have Gage Jump, good luck. And you had a bunch of twins like I did, probably didn't do very well. So definitely a big talking point again on this slate. But happy Wednesday, man. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, last night was rough for sure, but hey, that's baseball, man. Like, if you don't already figure it out, you're going to probably lose more days than not, then you're going to win. Then, obviously you're living in some kind of a fantasy land, but that's why we play some of the stuff we do, try to stay away from the chalk. Cause when you win, we want you to win big. Like, that's the whole thing. So, you're not going to win every day. Baseball especially is one of the toughest sports of all to be able to predict. This ain't NBA and start averaging minutes and stuff like that with points per minute and shit. Like, that's not how it works, Nades, with baseball. Like, you can get your dick stomped pretty damn quick. But hey, either way, we're gonna get back up on our feet. Yesterday don't matter. If you won, you lost. Guess what? You get to start over again today, which is the best part of DFS baseball. But looking forward to it. We got hump day here in baseball. I'll tell you what, man, though. My guts kind of turned over a few times seeing some of the videos coming out of China. That's fucked up, man. Like, that's like the apocalypse kind of shit, that water coming down. Like, damn, man, that's some rough viewing when you realize that really ain't AI. That's fucking for real. But, sad to see that. So hopefully that becomes a better situation than not. It doesn't look very good. But either way, hey, we got some baseball. I'm excited, Nades. Tomorrow I am going to one of my good buddies, best friend's house down in Tallahassee. I'm going to Nolesman's house to hang out. And I was asking him, like, can you hook me up with like a camera and shit out there by your pool so I can do the show tomorrow by the pool? Like, what can we do here? So we'll see if I can pull that one off. But if not, I'll get somebody to help me out here tomorrow. But either way, looking forward to it. I'm going on vacation. I got a weekend. I'm going with a bunch of DFSers. So, I'm sure we'll be talking all kinds of football, what's coming up. We got baseball coming up. It's a good time this time of year to be joining Ship It. So looking forward to football around the corner. It's like we're in the draft time, right, Nades? Like, this is draft time. Like, everybody's getting ready for the drafts with their buddies, and the next 2 weeks and 2 weekends are going to be a lot of drafts be going on, that's for sure. So I know the Amazon guy, he's like, dude, I've been delivering draft boards for the last 2 weeks to motherfucker's house. So it's a good time of the year. I'm excited for it. Lot of stuff going on. Man, fall, like I said yesterday, great time of year. It's good, for the weather. Golf's cool. I mean, everything's great. So looking forward to what do we got? 7 games, 8 on FanDuel. We got the Red Sox and the Nats, I think, over there. So, but yeah, dude, pitching blows today. Like, man, I'm looking at them like, what, 2 dudes are like barely over the MLB average. And they're at 24%. There's 2 guys. So it's like pitching's going to be kind of bad here today. But hey, we got to play with the cards we're dealt. That's what I keep saying. So, yeah, let's dive into this thing, see what we can do.
Yeah, should be interesting here. Our guy LSU here says never play spend up pitchers, specifically right-handed pitchers against the White Sox. I mean, yeah, I should have known better, right? I mean, shame on me for playing. I usually always stack the White Sox against any right-handed pitcher. I don't care who the hell it is. I don't care if it's DeGrom. I don't care. Maybe not Mizorowski. That's probably about the only one I wouldn't at this day and age. But yeah, White Sox absolutely rake right-handed pitching all season long, right? So could definitely see. But again.
And this one too for you, bud. You called that's a good call yesterday. You called Peters to hit a homer. I called Luis Garcia to hit a homer. He hit one. So at least we got some right yesterday.
Yes, Spencer Jones didn't, so that would have been at least.
Well, you went for the double down. You had to go for the extra guy. You know, like
I had to.
One right.
As bad as I've been in baseball this season, like I had to do something, and I still couldn't even fucking get that right. But hey, I digress. Right, we move on here, and we got a bunch of the same teams. Actually, all of the same teams that we just talked about yesterday. We have all 14 of them to talk about again here with the 7-game DraftKings slate. Again, as you alluded to, right, pitching's pretty gross overall. I'll go ahead and pull up our Stone 2.0 here, one of the premium tools we have for all sports over at Ship It Nation. And hey, if you're not a member yet out there, can't imagine too many of you aren't members yet. But if you aren't, stick around because next week, Tuesday, you might find some good news on this channel with a big reason to join the nation, to stick around for football season and then PJ season to follow as well. So a lot of big news coming out next week. I know Hoop, Tambo, and the squad will be on talking about some of the new stuff that we have coming for football season that, hey, surprise, might be something worth your money to stick around with. You might get some better value out of your already great valued priced membership there. But in terms of pitching here, you alluded to it. Pitching's pretty gross overall. Most expensive guy on the slate is Sean Burke, who's been pretty solid all year. Texas got the job done for me last night. Much different matchup here. Sean Burke's just really good. If I can play Sean Burke, I want to. I don't think it's going to be that hard to play a $9,000 Sean Burke here. You got Peter Lambert, who's had up and down season, has been more good than kind of bad. Issue is he's $8,700 against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. Now, the Yankees do have strikeouts there. I just don't know if I can really get to Peter Lambert, to be honest. Maybe that's a reason to kind of downgrade the Yankees a little bit. Not really something that I want to do. Mackenzie Gore is the interesting one. He is going to be the chalk guy of the slate. It's probably going to be him. It's going to be him, Dustin May, Burke are kind of the three main guys that are going to be the quote-unquote chalk pitchers, if you will, on this slate. Bradish looks pretty interesting to me out there in St. Louis. There's some strikeouts in that lineup. I think he's kind of interesting to me at 8K. But let's go ahead and just hit this entire pitching slate because there's only 7 games and it's a lot more arms below 8K than there is above 8K. So how do you see Burke, Mackenzie Gore, Bradish, Dustin May? How do you rank those 4? As those 4 are super interesting to me overall. And then any interest in these other guys like Randy Dobnik coming off a good start, Sasaki, Peter Lambert spend up to be contrarian. And then any of these cheap guys, kind of Prelip, right? Taj Bradley didn't get it done yesterday, but we saw our other guy get it done for the Twins there. So kind of up and down in that ballpark there. How do you see this whole pitching slate overall?
Yeah, I mean, this is the slate. Like I normally think to myself, like, could I get beat by the pitching today where I got to have these guys? I don't feel that way today. Not like yesterday. I thought yesterday we had some pretty good strikeout arms and some upside with the pitching that we saw. But I mean, today I don't necessarily feel that way. I mean, you look at Burke up at the top, he's got a Texas team. I mean, Burke just hasn't been very good his last recent starts. I mean, shit, he's got his last 3 out of 4 games, he's been under 10 points. I mean, it's not something. I mean, he's given up 4 earned runs his last 2 starts, both starts. It's concerning. His strikeouts been down 2, 4, 8. I mean, he's had 8, 4, and then 10, 10. So last 3 out of 6 starts, he's had he has had the Ks, but that's a pure, definition, like we were saying yesterday, of a GPP pitcher. I think that's why, you kind of got to look at him. I mean, you look at the Texas strikeouts. I mean, everybody's over 20%, but they're not in the high 20. I mean, you got Berger, Diaz, they're 26 and 25. Everybody else is between 21, 22%. So, I mean, there are some strikeouts to be had the last 30 days for Burke. You compare him to the season, he has been getting hit a little bit harder in recent times by lefties. I mean, the strikeout rates are about the same. They are down a little bit to the right side compared to what he's been throughout the year. His WOBA's up like 30 points to the left side. Fly ball percentages are up a little bit. Ground ball percentages down almost 10%. So there is some lefties that could get to him. But I like Burke for the upside on the strikeouts he's got. I think he's definitely should be in play. I wouldn't call anyone on this slate really a necessity. I think that it's more or less a jumbled kind of mess. And, to find two people on DK is definitely going to be interesting. Lambert, like you said, I'm not interested in Lambert against a lefty heavy Yankee team that I just don't want any part of. Gore, man, I think that's interesting. I mean, he's got 24 something percent strikeout rate. It's just the White Sox, right? I said it yesterday, man. I just fucking feel like I'm just waiting to zip my dick into my zipper doing that shit. Like, I mean, that shit hurts, but you keep trying to do it. But either way, I fucking hate going against the White Sox. They just kick my ass. So, and Mackenzie Gore isn't some, he isn't some Cy Young Award winner. I'm not, it's just like, damn it, man. I mean, he has been decent his last 5 starts. So I'll give him that. He's not been allowing more than 3 runs his last 6 starts here. So I think that's interesting in that sense. But if he's going to be chalky, man, I find more reasons just to leave it alone and kind of bank on the White Sox. I mean, White Sox haven't been playing. I don't want to do it. Bradish, I think, is really interesting against the Cardinals. I think Bradish is a guy that I definitely could jump on board. But I mean, you think Kyle Bradish, and you think, oh man, he's got some strikeouts in that arm. Seemed like I've relied on him in the past, and you just look at his game logs. He's 4.45. I mean, he hasn't had more than 5 Ks in quite a long time since the middle of June. So I think that's a little bit concerning. So that's when you start looking at these guys' last 30 days, which, as I've been saying, I do put a little more into that as we wind down into the season. His K percentages have been way down. Bradish is down at 15% to the right side, 18.8% to the left side. He's been getting barreled up by righties. So just kind of looking at that, I could see why you may want to play a Bradish, but I think everybody has a flag that you can be raised up on this slate. But I mean, the Cardinals just have not been very good. They're not very good against right-handed pitching. So I think Bradish is in play. But again, like, I'm just kind of poking holes in everybody. Sasaki, I mean, he's been a little bit better late, but I just don't think this guy's got any kind of really strikeout upside that I want on this slate either, especially against Atlanta. So I'm a little bit more concerned about that. So, I mean, comparing them to Bradish, I think I'd rather play Bradish. I think is another interesting guy. I mean, you look at him, he did shit the bed his last time out. What did he give up? Like a touchdown? Yeah, he gave up 7 earned runs. So that's, we can call that an anomaly. But before that, I mean, he had 4 starts that were pretty good. He had 6, 5, 8, 3 Ks. So it's not like he's running up 10 Ks or so. And, that kind of goes back to my theory. Like, I don't fear anybody today in as far as strikeout upside goes. I'm almost kind of looking for some outs today. So that's something else that I do value a little bit. But I mean, you look at what I think you can get out of May. You can get 6 innings. I think we can get a quality start on him. I mean, I'm going to be playing on FanDuel, so I think May's definitely a guy that I could look at. I mean, you start getting down below, maybe Prelip against the A's. I don't know if you really want to do that. That's kind of a tough click out there in that park. But man, it's pitching's kind of rough today. But I mean, that's why, I can poke holes in everybody. But I mean, when it's all said and done, I think the guys we got some upside with: Burke, Gore, Bradish, May, and maybe even Sasaki down toward the bottom of that bunch. But everybody else, man, to me, it's just more or less of a close your eyes and kind of mix up. I mean, I'd mix up my pitching today. I wouldn't get too heavy on anybody. Gore's going to be chalky. So, I mean, to me, that's why I think I'd kind of fade him a little bit more than probably most. I think that'd be my stance on pitching. I think I'd just be a little underweight on Gore than everybody else.
Yeah, so I really don't know how much ownership Gore's really going to get, to be honest, because when I run the dry run, it's split between him, Burke, and Dustin May. So when I compare that, I do have Gore number one, just because White Sox against left-handed pitching is a much different lineup. Overall, yeah, you got Vargas in there and Grichuk and Meadroth. Those guys don't strike out, but the rest of this lineup, 26% strikeout rate against left-handed pitching. Mackenzie Gore over the last month, almost a 30% K rate, 26% on the year. He's been really good. So I think you can definitely obviously play both sides. It feels like Mackenzie Gore has been chalk every time he's on the slate. I don't know what this dude does to get great matchups lately over the last month. It feels like every time we're on a show, Mackenzie Gore is like the highest owned pitcher, but I do like him more than Burke personally myself. When you account for the discount in salary and ownership, I think it's going to be pretty similar. I mean, maybe you're talking like 5% percentage points different, something like that. If that's the case, just give me Mackenzie Gore straight up. I do love Kyle Bradish here tonight, 8K. Good price point for him. There is strikeouts in the back half of that St. Louis lineup for sure. It's a good place to pitch. So I really like Kyle Bradish at 8K. My man on Dustin May, not putting much stock into stock on the other side, but much stock into his last start there. Citi Field, obviously a really good place to pitch as well. 7,300, good price point there. He's got good props on this slate as well. 4.5K prop, juice the over for Dustin May. So I think he's interesting. Sasaki's interesting to me as well. Just a bet on talent, bet on upside, even against the Braves. I know it's a pretty tough matchup there, but Sasaki has a 5.5K prop hung. It is juiced to the under, but again, on this slate, that's like third best on the slate behind guys like Mackenzie Gore, Burke. Peter Lambert does have a pretty good K prop and pretty good props in general, outs and Ks. I don't know if I can do that, to be honest. I just rather play Mackenzie Gore and Bradish over Lambert and Burke both. So that's kind of how I see it. So rank at the top tier, I'll put Bradish number one, Gore number one, Bradish two. I'll go Burke 3, and then Lambert would be 4 amongst the top tier. And then the value tier, I got Dustin May number 1, Sasaki number 2. And then I think you could mess with a guy like Michael McGreevy, just to bet on that Baltimore lineup there in that ballpark. I think he could go out there and spin some outs. So I don't mind him. And then I do want to mention Robert Stock. I don't think he's very good, but Vegas has really good projection and really good props on him. He's $5,000 on a slate where pitching sucks, and it can get you up to some spend-up bats to be different. You look at Robert Stock, 4.5K prop, juice the over here. I don't think it's the worst play in the world just because the way the pitching slate is. Like, I mean, there's 5 projection points separating a $9,000 pitcher to a $5,000 pitcher on this slate. So if this was a different slate, I think it'd be a horrible move. But on this kind of slate, I think it's kind of interesting there to just pay all the way down to Robert Stock. And Brewers haven't been hitting the ball that well as of late. So I don't hate that. Issue with him is he's just a fly ball guy with control issues, but he's $5,000 on the slate and pitching's gross. So don't think he's the worst player.
He's 36 years old. He hasn't been in the majors. Like, he's not good. It's not like he's some prospect coming up. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
that's what kind of worries me. When I saw that, I was like, man, I kind of like the Brewers.
I would rather stack the Brewers against them, but I gave the same argument yesterday. This ballpark is horrendous. And I mean, Vegas has this dude's got good props for his price. He's $5,000 on the slate with a 12 projection. So I think he could definitely do worse. He's definitely a distant option for me. it's really going to be focused around Bradish, Sasaki, May, Gore, Burke are kind of the main 5 that I'm looking at. If you wanted to mess with some pre-lip against the A's and that strikeout happy matchup, I don't hate it. Lambert's the spend up to be contrarian with upside in the top tier that nobody's going to play. I think he'd be interesting. And then I mentioned McGreevy a little bit, not really messing with anyone else on the slate, not chasing the Gage jump ceiling performance. I talked about his talent. JT Ginn's a much different pitcher. Overall, you will get leverage there, but 6,800, I'm just not doing that. I'd just rather spend down or play pre-lip on the other side there. So talked a lot of these pitching arms. Pitching is very gross in general here, but everyone's dealing with the same deck of cards as we talk about all the time. So let's jump over here. Let me refresh the stone and talk hitting. First game on the main slate, we are up in Yankee Stadium here. Astros and the Yankees, Lambert, Elmer Rodriguez. I think the Astros are pretty interesting here. Just against an unknown here, you do still have that Yankees bullpen, which is pretty solid overall. Astros lineup is out. You got Alvarez hitting 2, Pena, Paredes. You got Trammell in there as well, another cheap value guy. Cam Smith, when he gets starts, he usually produces here. Again, this guy's pretty unproven. I mean, you're talking 83 plate appearances. He has a higher walk percentage than a strikeout percentage. So that leads me to believe full stack right away. Anytime you're dealing with a pitcher like that, it gives up a bunch of fly balls to lefties. So guys like Varsho, Trammell, Alvarez make good sense in your stack for sure. I think the Astros are kind of interesting here for sure. And then on the other side, the Yankees, nobody's going to play the Yankees here again on a 7-game slate. They have as much upside as any offense in baseball when they hit the ball. Ben Rice, Garcia, Grisham, Jazz, Bellinger back in there, Spencer Jones. I mean, these guys have a ton of power, so I won't be shocked. Houston still does have a pretty bad bullpen. I don't love picking on Lambert, one of the better arms on the slate, but he is a fly ball guy, and this entire Yankees lineup hits the ball in the air. Wind's kind of blowing out here to left field as well. So I'm actually more on the offense, and I think this is one of the best games of the night for offense here. One of the highest totals as well. Contestant up there, kind of in the same hemisphere there is Sutter Health. Pretty hard to do, but I think this game is really interesting overall for offense here. Talk to me.
Yeah, I think both of these teams are interesting, actually. I mean, I think I like the Yankees a little bit more than you with Lambert. I mean, his K percentage has been down quite a bit the last 30 days to left. He's at 16%. His walk rates has not been good. He's had control issues. Yankees are a pretty patient team. He's been getting barreled up by lefties. His ground ball rate is lower. His fly ball rates are around the 30%, 32% to the right side. So, yeah, I mean, I like the Yankees a little bit more. I'd probably put them in, around my third, maybe highest best stack, I think, today. I do think the Astros are interesting too against Elmer here. I mean, Elmer has not been good with his control either. I mean, he's walked quite a bit of lefties here in his recent times. He does have some ground ball lean. He does have a ground ball lean to the right side. But you look at a guy, I do know like Paredes has a decent fly ball rate. Jordan's almost at 40%. Varsho's at almost 30%. So they definitely got some fly balls in that lineup. So if Elmer starts walking some guys, there's definitely some guys there that got some pop. Walker, Paredes, Alvarez, Cam Smith that definitely put the ball in the seat. So I think I would rather prefer both teams as full stacks. I don't think I would just rather many. I think I would just full stack both teams. I don't really like going against the Yankees bullpen. I will say that. So, but I think both of these two teams are definitely interesting. But yeah, I put them both in my top 5 today. That's for sure.
Yeah, I got the Yankees probably second. First or second, it's tough. At ownership, I probably have them ahead of the Twins, but Twins on paper are the better overall stack. So I do like it as well. And then the Astros are definitely up there as well for me. Probably fourth or fifth overall on the slate, because I just like the upside of both these teams. Yankees bullpen is solid, but they did use 4 arms yesterday. So I mean, looking at it, 27 pitches for Hedrick, Hanner threw 25, Fernando Cruz through 20, and De Los Santos through 17. So typically those guys don't go back to back. So you're probably looking at Yarbrough, Blackburn, Bednar, some of those guys coming in here, which does help the case as well for some Astros stacks overall. Next spot, Royals, Blue Jays. Spencer Miles going to go to start the game here in an inning or two. I don't know who the long guy is here. I'm not sure. Let me see. 1 second. Who's the long guy? Looks like more of a bullpen game after Miles. Miles going to go probably 40 to 50 pitches, something like that. And then it's going to be mixed and matched across the bullpen there. So no Royals interest really for me against a good Blue Jays bullpen. Randy Dobnik's kind of smoke and mirrors. I'll continue to stack against this guy anytime he's on the slate. I think it continues here. Blue Jays, I think, as a full stack are super interesting. And you always have that horrendous bullpen behind. And at low ownership, nobody's really talking about the Blue Jays here. I mean, Sanchez, Okamoto, Springer, Kirk, these guys are dirt cheap as a full stack overall. I think this team is super interesting on this kind of slate. I definitely have the Blue Jays probably in my top 5 as well, which crazy to say, but it is only a 7-game slate. It's just more of a bet on Dobnik and that Royals bullpen. I think Dobnik's pitching over his head right now.
Yeah, it's just either both teams. It just seems like it's been tough to stack against them. But you're right, Royals bullpen hasn't been good. I just look at that Toronto lineup, and it just doesn't seem to have the power that I want. I mean, Dobnik has not been missing any bats here in recent time either. He's at 13% strikeout rate to the left side, at 20% to the right side. He's had some walk issues too to the right side, but hasn't really been giving up any kind of barrels. I mean, he's at 3.8% to the left side. So, you got a ground ball lean type pitcher. I just normally don't like going after guys that have ground ball leans. So that's one reason for me to kind of be shy away a little bit from the Blue Jays. As far as the Royals go, other than Bobby Witt, I'm not really that interested. I know the Blue Jays have quite a few lefties in that bullpen too, so you might see some pinch hit risk. But Bobby Witt be really the only Royal that I'd really consider today. But other than that, I mean, Blue Jays, if I was playing a deep pool, yeah, I could see why, chasing after that bullpen and Dobnik. But it just worries me. I don't know how long Dobnik will go. It just worries me when you get a guy with a ground ball lean like that at 50%.
Yeah, no, definitely see the case there for sure. Citi Field, Robert Stock, Dustin May. No Mets interest really for me outside of Lindor. I think Lindor is a solid play. You can play Benj or Ewing, one of those lefties there if you needed to, but more so interest on the Brewer side as a full stack here. This is the type of slate where I think you could play a Brewer stack overall. They are projected for more ownership than I'd like to see here in this ballpark, but it makes a sense, right? Robert Stock, command issues, the Brewers are run if they get on base. Interested to see what this lineup is. Bowers is day-to-day right now. If Bowers isn't in that lineup, I do dislike that more. Sal Frelick being back does help. That throws another lefty in there. Talk to me here how much you love the Brewers. Probably more than I do, but let me hear it.
I do like the Brewers more than you. That's 2 days in a row. I mean, we must be living in some kind of fantasy world, but this
2 runs yesterday, so I'll take my victory yesterday.
I get it. But that whole slate was upside fucking down. But either way, I like the Brewers when they're not facing a ground ball pitcher, and this guy definitely does not qualify as a ground ball pitcher. So far this year, he's had 40% fly ball rate to the left side, 28% to the right side. His ground balls have been fairly low too. His WOBA's high to the right side. Like I said, it's a 36-year-old minor league journeyman. So, this guy is not very good. I definitely think the Brewers can get to this guy. To me, the Mets have mailed it in. I definitely like some Brew Crew here. I'd have the Brew Crew in my top 5 today, probably my top 3. So I think who cares they scored 2 runs? Yeah, I don't like the overall power of the Brewers, but on a stack like this, a short slate, and we got an old journeyman who hasn't been able to really make the majors, and he's throwing fly balls and getting pounded like he is. Hell yeah, sign me up for some Brew Crew. I mean, so yeah, I mean, put him in the same bucket as like the Astros and the Yankees. I mean, to me, they're all kind of right there. I do like I'd say I like the Brewers. If I had to rank those three, I'd probably say Yankees just because the overall power, and then I'd probably go Brewers, and then I'd probably go Astros. So, but yeah, I think the Brewers are definitely in play. I mean, dude, you got an old ass journeyman coming up to pitch for the Mets. I mean, I don't think he's gonna have a very good day against a team like the Brewers.
Yeah, no Bowers in that lineup. So it is gonna be Frelick leading off, Mitchell, Turang, Yelich, Contreras, Lara, Vaughn, Hamilton, Pratt. I mean, the issue for me is the Brewers have just been really bad against right-handed pitching over the last month. They've just been pretty cool with this lineup in here. Robert Stock, 27% strikeout rate and 52 plate appearances against lefties over the last month. And the Brewers are going to be owned. I definitely have the Brewers third amongst the Astros, the Yankees. I got the Twins ahead of them as well, even when you're considering ownership. So I get the reasoning. I would not be shocked. I'd much prefer to full stack it. I have a sour taste in my mouth stacking in Citi Field. I fucking hate this park. It's just terrible. And that's it. It's shocking. Maybe a new leaf. I'm turning a new leaf, right? And just not playing the Brewers every time they're on the slate. Worked for me yesterday. I'll take my chances again. Another Gyiraszin versus Nades battle here. Next spot, Braves and the Dodgers. AJ Smith-Shawver making his second start, I think, this season. Dodgers look pretty interesting overall here. I'm not a believer in Shawver. I'll take the Dodgers straight up over the Brewers at similar ownership. I know the Braves bullpen is good, but it's a better place to hit. So I kind of offset it a little bit there. Looking at the bullpen yesterday of the Braves, used 3 arms. They do have 4 lefties in there, which is a concern, but Otani's never coming out. Freeman's not coming out. Muncie's probably not coming out. Edmonds a switch hitter. So your pinch hit guys are Fiducia, Tucker, and Thomas, those guys. Tucker's been bad anyway. So I think the Dodgers are kind of interesting on a smaller slate. Definitely have them behind those other teams that I just talked about. But how do you see this one, Braves and the Dodgers?
Dodgers are definitely interesting, but I mean, when you really sit back and think about it, you know, you mentioned that bullpen. Braves bullpen's really good, and they already know why they need to be good. It's for that playoff matchup that they may have against the Dodgers. So that's why they got a bunch of lefties down there. They know damn well who they got to beat in their conference or divisions, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, in league, we can call it whatever, I guess. But either way, yeah, I think, you know, the Braves are definitely bullpen scaring me a little bit, but I still got the Dodgers and the other team in my top 5 today because of that power. I mean, too, what you got to be concerned about with Smith-Shawver is, dude, his control is not good. I mean, he walks a bunch of guys 12.5% to the left side, 12% to the right side. His walk percentage, you know, he hasn't really been striking anybody out. I mean, he's been getting barreled up. So, I mean, how long are we going to see this guy? So that's the question. And then we're going to get a pretty stacked bullpen. So that does concern me a little bit. But hey, maybe they can get to him a little bit early. But yeah, I don't. You know, that's why if it wasn't for that Braves bullpen, Nades, I'd say that the Dodgers be the overwhelmingly favorite team today. But because of that bullpen, I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand it there. We're just kind of starved for offense a little bit outside of the clear-cut obvious Twins. So anytime we can get the Dodgers pretty low on a smaller slate, thinks it makes a lot of sense. It's just more a bet on Shawver. So if Shawver goes out there and gets blistered up right away, you're probably not going to see the better arms, and you could see the Braves just punt this game off, which is interesting when you look at it from that lens for sure. Rangers, White Sox, Burke, Mackenzie Gore. Rangers been playing good ball as of late. Burke's been kind of shaky. Don't really want to pick on Burke. I think this is too good, like little leverage, little mini stack, 2-man, 3-man type stuff. Seager looks pretty good. Nimmo Langford's been really good. Jock should be back in there against the righty. He looks good. And then on the White Sox, Vargas, Grichuk, Meadroth, those three guys in particular. Doyle's been swinging it. Doyle always swings a pretty good stick against lefties. And then you got Jake Rogers, your fellow boy. I think his 15th team, it feels like this season. But he is 2,600 with a ton of power against left-handed pitching. You're probably only going to get 2 at-bats out of him because they'll bring in one of their other 6 catchers that White Sox have on the roster. But talk to me here. How do you see this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a leverage spot for me on both sides with Burke and Gore. You got two pretty good pitchers, and then when I was blindly looking at the over-under, I kind of expected it to be like under 8, like 7.5. But you look at all the over-unders on this the slate here, it's all between 8.5 and 8, and except for that late game that we got out there in Sacramento. So, this one here, I mean, with the 8 did surprise me a little bit. But, yeah, I just think both these pitchers are fairly decent. Now, if I was going to pick on one or the other, I think I'd just rather pick on Gore a little bit with the White Sox just being the better offense. So I think that's the way that I would go. But I don't love it. I wouldn't have it in the top of my list. But, I mean, if I'm even playing maybe 10 teams or so, I think I would include the White Sox in there, especially, with Gore being one of the more popular pitchers today. So I don't mind it. I mean, the White Sox we've seen put up all kinds of big numbers, so I don't mind. I don't mind attacking them here.
Yeah, I agree. Next game, Cardinals, Orioles. Kyle Bradish on the mound. McGreevy. You want lefties against McGreevy? O's are going to throw a bunch of them at him. Pete Alonso's been red hot too, so I think he makes a really good play on this slate. Kaiser, Tavares, Beavers, Basayo. Gunnar, Jackson, all those guys hit from the left side, and then you got 2 power guys in Alonso and Strand that hit from the right side. The only guy I really want to play if you're playing the Orioles here is Narvaez. It's not just saying that they scored a gazillion runs yesterday against my boy Liberatore, who I had like 50% of. So it was a pretty tough or pretty early slate yesterday for me to get gutted, but I think the O's, you could go back to the O's here. McGreevy's historically just been a splits guy, and you're kind of just waiting for the wheels to fall off on a lot of these St. Louis pitchers. You saw it happen to Liberatore yesterday. I won't be shocked to see it happen again here to McGreevy. He gives up a shit ton of power to lefties. Kaiser, like I said, all the lefties make a lot of sense, and then Pete Alonso from the right side. Can you get on board with a low-owned O stack? And you got a horrendous Cardinals bullpen behind them who got beat up yesterday as well. Using 3 of their arms when Liberatore got knocked out. How do you see this one?
Yeah, I think the O's are definitely interesting, especially because of that St. Louis bullpen, as you mentioned, is not very good at all. And McGreevy has not looked very good against lefties in the last 30 days at a 13% barrel rate, fly ball rate almost at 36%, ground ball rate fairly low, WOBA at 373. I mean, this guy normally doesn't miss bats either. So, I mean, I definitely think the lefties can get after McGreevy here. Holiday, I mean, even Alonso, I mean, he's got a 392 WOBA against righties, and McGreevy ain't going to miss his bat. So I think he's definitely interesting. I mean, I could go back to the O's here. I mean, McGreevy could have a decent start and get maybe, 4 or 5 innings and maybe give up 2 or 3. And then all of a sudden you could see 6 or 7, maybe even a touchdown at the end of this game here in the last 3 innings. That bullpen's not very good. So, I think the Orioles definitely in play. I'd put the Orioles in the same bucket as, like we were talking with the Astros, the Yankees, the Brewers, Dodgers, Orioles. I think they're all in the same bucket for me.
Yeah, I definitely think the O's are super sneaky here on the slate, and you actually might see more people play McGreevy than you will people play the O's. And anytime that's the case, full 9 locked in for 9 here for sure. It is also 95 degrees in Busch Stadium. Wind's kind of moving all around the field, but it is a decent breeze out there as well. So hot, humid, one of the warmer, I think it's the warmer spot as well on the slate for hitting. So should help the case there as well. Love those lefties for sure. Cardinals, no real interest. I think Burleson and Weatherholt you can play anytime. but don't really love the price tag on Walker, Herrera, righty. It just more so be those two guys at the top, Weatherholt and Burleson. Last game, most important game on the slate, Twins, rinse and repeat of the last 3 days. Going to dwarf any other team on the slate in ownership, not even going to be close. And the A's are going to be kind of pretty close behind them against Prelip. The A's do get a lefty, which does help the case. Bolte, big pinch hit risk, but he has power. Geloff's been really good for them. Jonah Heim, Jonah Him, they call him. I think this game's super interesting for sure. I'd rather get overweight on other teams outside of the Twins here tonight. I think if picking, I prefer like a Clemens, Josh Bell, something like that. 2 lefties against Ginn. Ginn's pretty mow down against righties. Against lefties, he's horrible. Typical splits guy, as Kyle Schwarber just hit one to the freaking stratosphere. So I'd love to see that. But talk to me here, Sutter Health to round it out.
I mean, I can poke some holes in the Twins here. It goes back to what I say about the Brewers all the time. JT Ginn has got he doesn't really give up any fly balls. I mean, he's got a mid 40%, high 46%, 47% ground ball rates. And I mean, his fly ball rates here, especially the last 30 days, 16% to the right side, 25% to the left side. He's just not allowing the ball to get up in the air. So I think that's a concern. I mean, you obviously don't mind picking on that A's bullpen if they can get in there to him. But, you know, I'm just a little bit concerned of a pitcher or a team being chalky that's facing a guy that just isn't allowing the ball to get hit up in the air. So that's definitely concerning. But, you know, on the other side too, though, I do think the A's are interesting against Prelip. I mean, this guy's control issues are definitely of concern. So he's going to have to get that under control. But I do like some of the righties, especially at the top of the lineup here. But I think overall, I think my stance on the slate would be just to fade both sides of this game if I need to, and I can find some offense in those other spots in that bucket I was talking about with those other 5 teams, with the Astros, with the Orioles, with the Yankees, with the Dodgers, the Brew Crew. I think I'd rather live into that in that realm today and fade this game here. So I think that's a stance I'd play, and I think I'd also kind of fade Mackenzie Gore as well. So I just go that route. I mean, there isn't anything I think is overwhelming on either side. I don't think pitching's going to really beat you today. So, yeah, I'd mix up my offenses, mix up my pitching. I think I'd kind of keep my offenses to maybe that tight 5-team pool and see what we end up with.
Yeah, I like it. Your top 3 arms, your top 3 stacks, and a home run call. I'll do the same, and we'll get out of here a little early with only 7 games on the slate.
Top 3, I'd go Gore, Burke, and then I'd say Bradish, or where I'd live. On FanDuel, I think you can throw in Sonny Gray as well. I just want to mention that. Stacks, I mean, like I said, I'm going to live within those 5 that I had mentioned. I'm going to leave out that late game, and I'm going to stay in that Yankees, Astros, Orioles, Dodger, Brew Crew bucket is where I'm looking. And as far as a home run call goes, Nades, I am going to call one of your boys, and I am going to say Mr. Turang is going to hit a home run today.
All right, Turang does it. For me, I'm going to go my pitching. I'm going to go Mackenzie Gore, Bradish, Dustin May, Sasaki. Those kind of 4 guys overall. Top stacks, I'm going Yankees, Dodgers, and then I'll throw in the Astros and the Orioles. Those kind of 4 for me. Home run call for me. I'm going to go to the O's. I'm going to go to – I want to say Pete Alonso, but I feel like that's kind of cheating, playing Pete Alonso way up there. But he's going to be unowned. I'm going to say Pete Alonso does it. I'm not going to get too crazy off the wall here. I'm going to say Pete Alonso and see if we can't get back to the winner's circle. Gyiraszin, appreciate you breaking it down. I know you'll be game time decision for the show tomorrow from Nolesman's Pool, probably 15 high noons deep and about six little joints, little safety meetings there. So that'll be interesting. Let me know if you need some help there. I'll see what my schedule looks like. But for Gyiraszin, I'm Nades. Good luck tonight in those contests. Hope to see those Ship It Nation logos all the way at the top of the boards. I'm out of here. Peace.